Welcome back. It is the 2022 Massachusetts Grand Prix presented by Sunstein LLP. We are here to bring you back nine coverage at the wonderful Maple Hill. My name is Dan Snyder, and I am joined by Kim Kissel, the Vice President of Community Relations for New England Women's Disc Golf. Kim, welcome back.
Hello, hello. Happy to be here and cannot wait to see the show these ladies put on, the back nine of this course. Let's get a score check-in powered by Disc Golf 978.
Yeah, what a battle we have going into this back nine. All four of these ladies playing their hearts out. I mean, they all had to qualify to be here, so they're here for a reason, and they're proving it out here at Maple Hill. I want to give a shout out to Rivas, Mark Hans Craig, and Marcus Graham on the camera, Kim and I in the commentary booth, and the awesome sound track. We got some cool vibes by Keith Lincoln, so thank you to everybody involved. And without any further ado, thank you, Greatest Media Team. Let's get right to the action.
All right, so hole 10. We talked a lot on the front nine about how basically every hole at Maple Hill is an iconic hole, and the Castle hole, hole 10, definitely ranks up there.
Yeah, new tee pad, slightly off to the left for the diamond layout. Bringing a little bit of the woods. This is kind of like the transition from woods golf out into the open, it seems. This uphill shot, so high in elevation, tough to get the distance accurate. It tests all parts of your game.
Say, so far the ladies are doing a pretty good job getting out of that tunnel, getting onto the fairway to hopefully give themselves a clean up and down for par.
Yeah, it kind of plays not shot shape by any means, but scoring, like mentality wise, kind of plays like hole 6 to me. You just want to get something in the middle of the fairway, get your upshot into a comfortable spot, and get your 3.
And so as Dan was mentioning in the intro, the ladies playing today had to qualify to play in this event. Ooh, Colleen with a beautiful flick up shot onto the mound.
Drawing medal on that one. That would have been some fireworks.
Speaking of Colleen, in 2022, she played in 11 events, finished in the top 2 of her 6 of 9 events before this one in October, and she qualified for the Grand Prix by finishing 3rd in the points qualifier at 210 points.
Scary bid there from Jess, looking back down at the hill, but that castle wall protecting the putter, keeping it up on the green. And we got Cass here, tough uphill putt, tough obstructed putt, able to convert.
Able to run it in, and Cass put in the work in the 2022 season. This was her 18th of 20th events, including showings at Music City Open, Ledgestone, and the MVP Open on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. And she qualified for the Mass Grand Prix by finishing 7th in points qualifications at 138.
Yeah, impressive stuff.
Impressive stuff. Colleen tapping in her par. We've got Jess tapping in hers, and Jess competed in 14 events in 2022, podiumed in 12, and qualified for the Mass Grand Prix by finishing first at the Rally of Rochester. Colleen letting it fly on hole 11.
Yeah, definitely the first hole that you can kind of just let your arm go. There's so much room off to the right there. That where they're playing to this basket up on the left, up on the rocks there, right side's not bad as long as you clear the trees and you have a look. Definitely better than being left.
Cass sneaking out of the tree line, having an open look.
We have a quick shout out. We see you, Mark, chasing the bees on that lower left there. I want to go back and see what verse he wrote up for that picture there or that video.
Yes.
Oh, and look at Dan. I didn't even see Dan behind him, too, sneaking in the shadows.
We got Juge doing, letting it air out on 11, and she played in 9 events in 2022, finishing 2nd place at the Sunstein Open at 501, and she qualified for the Mass Grand Prix by finishing 6th in the points qualifications at 168. So I know we mentioned on the front nine, but these ladies are some of the heavy hitters in the New England area, and so getting to watch them play on such an amazing course is such a treat.
Yeah, all 4 of these ladies earning their spot on this lead card, and let's not forget the rest of the field that competed in this event too. All 8 ladies that competed here today, earning their spot to be here. So a huge shout out for the growing New England women's disc golf field that qualified their way to be in here, and for all the ladies who played their way throughout the season. I mean, the sport's only growing, and it's amazing to see.
I am so excited for what women's disc golf has shown in 2022 in the New England area. I'm so excited for the things that NEWDG has planned in 2023. So stay locked on our channel, stay tuned, because we're gonna have some fun stuff coming out as the year goes along.
Just there with a gorgeous hyzer around all those Christmas trees. Looking at her birdie, just not enough clearance. I mean, these trees fully grown. I mean, this film mid to late October. They haven't had time to cut them down for the Christmas season yet, so these trees showing their bite.
Great shot.
Thanks. Colleen with a beautiful flex forehand, and that one tree right there is always the one that seems to get in the way on the upshot. It eats trees. It's so wide. Juge having to use every inch of her body to stretch out around it to get a forehand over to the basket. Cass having to make a little home in it for herself as she pitches up.
They're just able to stretch out far enough to have a look. Challenger up. Oh, so no.
Sit. No.
Stop it. Stop.
That was such a mean roll away.
That was such a confident putt, too.
Good. I was going to say, speaking of confident putts, that was fantastic.
You're supposed to catch those.
Oh, silly. Maybe you didn't get the memo. Here we go.
All right, that's a good putt. That's the Colleen we know. Confident comebacker, able to convert.
And that was a tricky comebacker too. It almost looked further than her original putt, and to just go up there, hit it, despite everything that happened earlier in the hole. And give her a lot of credit for that.
And again, the camera not really doing this hole justice with the elevation. This basket a lot higher up. Perched higher up than most, like we saw with Colleen's initial putt. Rollaways can happen very easily. Just cleaning up, Cass following suit as we move up to hole 12 here, par 4, 701 feet. I believe the longest hole on the back nine here.
It feels like the longest hole. So I'm glad to hear that that's probably the case. This is, talk about air it out. You talked about, and also talked about hole 10 being a transition hole from in the woods to out of the woods. This one's kind of the opposite of that, where you're out of the woods and then funnel back down into the woods way up there on the left.
Oh, Nelly. What a blast.
Oh, Nelly, indeed.
I was gonna say, let's JD do the commentary. Whoa, yeah, Nelly, what a blast.
We got to get JD in the booth for the next time Colleen's on coverage, because we know JD's going to be on the bag. JD, Colleen's husband. He's always a treat to be on the course with. He's everybody's hype man.
Look at this replay. You get such appreciation for the full flex, full flight.
I believe that was one of Colleen's destroyers.
I was just going to say, she threw her destroyer off the tee, so you nailed it.
Juge here, just a little nose up, a little high on the release, that wind catching underneath it. That left side, you can pitch out, but you're not going to get much distance out of there. There aren't many gaps.
Just airing it out, giving it the right height over those Christmas trees on the right, so it can fade back to the opening on the left. Beautifully executed.
Yeah, eventually those Christmas trees do run out. There is open space on the right side, so a good play there. And we saw Jude pitching out, and again, similar back to hole 9, similar type vibe with the low to high shot, just not able to get the elevation right. Able to skip over the hill, but skipping down to that left side didn't get the full flight out of her disc. Here we see Dan Nay working hard.
Shout out to Dan.
So much media, so much disc golf media. If you haven't checked out local route photography, please do. Take some phenomenal photos down in the Connecticut area.
And we've got Jess making her way down the hill, a little pinched off on the left, but looks like she might have some openings to get up and down to the basket from there.
And we haven't even talked about how difficult this second shot is. You're throwing from an open field, up over elevation, back down. Really one main gap to hit to a very guarded basket. And Colleen showing us exactly what that gap looks like. See Juge here fighting her way through the trees.
I was going to say, got knocked by that last tree, but hopefully she'll have an open putt from where she was able to fight out of.
What a beautiful jump putt. Such a good tool to have there. When you're like, I don't know, 120 to 150 feet out, it's such a good tool to have a confident jump putt that you can rely on. It just takes a lot of the guessing out of it.
Absolutely. It's interesting that you say that, Jen, because watching Cass do that, I was like, wow, these women know their discs so well, have such control over them, know what they want them to do, and even if it's not always perfectly executed, that's still there, and it's amazing to see.
Yeah, not necessarily a shot you're looking to make. I mean, obviously you're trying to make every single putt that you take, but just to have that accuracy and that control over every shot that you can safely do something without risk of a rollaway, it's so confident knowing you can do that.
Colleen tapping in for her par, I believe, which a par on this one, similar to hole one, feels like a birdie sometimes, where it's just, you know, getting those 4 clean shots, you know, on a very technical, long hole. It feels good.
Yeah, definitely gaining strokes with a par on this hole as we move up the arguably worst climb at Maple Hill. I don't care what type of shape you're in. Anytime you climb up from 12 to 13, it's, all right, water break. All right, snack break. Who's in?
It's almost like you want to be the last one on hole 12, or the last one on the box on 13, so you have the time to catch your breath and rest.
Like, oh, I took a double bogey last hole, guys. Dan, you got a par. No, I didn't.
Nope.
You're up.
I relinquished my top of the box. All right, let's watch Cass.
Yeah,
hype this on the
we're gonna watch
Sunstein
her slay
replay.
this hole. Ignore our bad jokes here. Excuse me, Cass, just showing us how to play this hole perfectly.
Ooh. JD's liking the shot. Let's see how it finishes.
Working its way through most of the trees.
Looks like she's landed in a good spot to give her a good up and down from there. Colleen taking the water break. You know what's up.
Always important. Hydrate, folks. Look at the colors. Mid-October, Maple Hill. You can't beat it.
Just able to fight through. Fight through.
No, it's fighting.
What?
That was almost out of bounds right. I think she's safe. She's near 14's tee pad, and she'll have a look from over there.
So that is amazing, the ability to fight through all of that with all the leaves still on the tree in peak fall.
Juge nearly black ace, or would it be a gray ace on the same basket of a same hole or a different basket of the same hole?
I used to know.
Let us know. Comments down below if you remember.
Please educate us. Oh, ooh. Talking about that jump putt earlier. She does that to lay up and give herself a good putt.
Yeah, this green tricky, little mini undulations, that bridge to the right, protecting a little valley there. And then as you see off to the left side, just, I don't know, 10, 15 feet behind the basket, maybe less, just nothing. It just drops. And you're going to roll for a while. As we see, Jess knows that. Scary putt to run, just laying up.
Ooh, speaking of scary putts, let's see what Juge can do here.
Oh, it just looked like it didn't want to come off. Just stuck to her finger a little bit.
Hopefully it stopped on that hillside, so it's just not too far down there. Colleen converting.
What a putt. They don't ask how, just how many. Able to sneak it in over the rim.
Put the horns up before you let it go. So.
And I mean, shout out to Colleen. I know, talked about it on the front nine. Had a tough first third of the course, but she has settled down, gotten in her groove, and seems like she's playing to her peak, which is always fun to watch.
Jackass.
There's
Also
Cass
playing to
cleaning
her
up par.
I was going to say, also talk about playing to her peak. Cass has been on a roll this round, and putter looking hot, looking confident, looking steady. It's going to be really interesting to see how this shapes up.
As we move over to hole 14, perhaps the one signature hole on the back nine that everybody thinks of, especially from the gold tee pad, but this diamond tee pad, no joke either. Similar shot. You're throwing a hyzer over water most of the way, and Cass,
That was
tracking.
a great shot.
Oh, nice.
Colleen leaving it
way wide.
Legs. Yes.
Let's see, get on land.
I think it's Tombstone.
Hits in bounds, couldn't see the reaction. We'll see it from this angle, but at least hitting safe. We'll see the reaction.
Look at that, trusting the disc to come back. Ooh.
Still blocked by that log there, but I don't see any water rippling, so I can only assume that's safe.
Jess also opting for that hyzer play. It looked like maybe didn't leave it out quite as wide as she was hoping, but still plenty safe.
Yeah, the common
on land
mistake
on the
there.
left side.
Yeah, the common mistake is just to leave it high and a little too far left. I mean, you don't want to lose your trusty hyzer disc over the water. I hope it's floating.
I'll say that it looked like, I don't know if it was an intentional flip up or not from Juge, but it looks like whatever disc it was did not come back quite as much as she was hoping for. And so a newer drop zone on 14, similar to hole 8, kind of perched up on the side there, leaves a very scary downhill water-backed putt.
Cast their huge birdie putt. That is not an easy putt, folks. You're staring at the water. I mean, like so many holes at Maple, you're staring at the water, nothing behind it to catch unless you hit chains, and Cass does. She's jacked up.
Her putter is on fire this round. That's certainly going to serve her well to finish this tough layout at Maple.
I mean, when Cass is making her putts, she is a scary player to go up against. She has all the tools to be a great champion, and she's making this a battle. And she's great at hide and seek.
It looks like Colleen was inbounds.
Colleen was inbound. She did not have to go to the drop zone, so add 2 and 2 together. She's safe. Oh, and
Ooh,
tough
great
reaction,
run.
and it did stay. It did stay up.
Good. She'll be faced with a scarier comeback putt, though, with the water directly behind her.
And again, I give a shout out to lots of media shout outs today. Greg Babineau, I see him out at multiple team challenges events throughout New England. Just another great asset to the New England media disc golf crew here. So many great people out there just doing what they love to help grow in the sport.
There we go. Call tapping in her 3. Jude tapping in her bogey to wrap up iconic hole 14.
And we're
Before
back
moving
in
to
the
hole
woods.
15. Yes, super woods.
A whole 15.
A little bit of a shock.
323 feet, par 3. Basically one direct line at the basket. There's a little sneaky flex line to the right. And as Cass shows us, you can hang it off to the left. And as long as you get over that initial valley, you should have an up and down for your 3.
All going with her buttery forehand straight up the gut.
That was so good. That until the disc started to run out of speed, that line, that straight line to the basket, so impressive.
Just showing us her best straight line shot. Similar to Cass's, faded off a little bit at the end, but she will absolutely have an easy up and down from there.
Yeah, as we see it back from the A-cam angle, you hit that initial gap, get over that valley, can start to leak a little bit left. It's not going to hurt you.
These ladies are making this straight shot look open and wide, and you would never know we were back in the woods with the way they're lacing this.
I mean, you and I being local, we have the luxury, and we sometimes take it for granted playing this course so as much as we do. I'm going to step up to hole 15 next time I get there and just look at the line and go, I'm sorry, they did what? 4 times? Tough lie for Cass there. I mean, the drive, good, but having a basket that you're not supposed to be putting at in your way, never easy. Because if you ask me, I just see basket. I want to hit basket. It doesn't matter which one it is.
When I saw her release her putt, my initial thought was, oh my gosh, that was totally whiffed. And then I realized, nope, that's the red basket.
That's the red one.
Her pitch up to gold was spot on, as everything has been all day for Cass. So
spot on was Juge's tap-in. Spot on is Jess's tap-in. And Colleen and Cass will go clean up their putts as well.
Oh, look at I love a good synchronized putt. Look at that. These ladies, and I don't know if they're checking scores at this point, but they have been neck and neck this entire round and still having fun, still giving each other props. And, you know, that's what women's disc golf is all about, is really providing that support to one another. And I love to see that, especially on a heated.
Yeah, I wonder if they know there. I wonder if they know they're one stroke behind each other or one stroke apart from each other right now. You wouldn't know it looking at the camaraderie and the vibes on the card. I mean, it's just like another round for them.
We've got hole 16 here. Is off to the side, to the left side is the tee pad. Almost diagonally straight across is the basket. It's long, it's windy, lots of different ways to get there, and these ladies are showing us all those different paths.
Yeah, apparently the play is just grab your favorite destroyer, throw a flex line, and get to circle 2. That's what Colleen showed us there. Just leaking out just a little left, staying safe on that left side, and Juge skipping to a great landing spot.
Honestly, where the red basket is on that hillside is, you know, depending on the distance and what you got, that's a great spot to land. It gives you a pretty open up and down to the blue basket or to the diamond basket from there. Cass with a blind up shot over the hill. But you wouldn't know it was blind to her from the flight of that disc and where it landed. She'll have a putt for 3.
Yeah, Cass, despite being from the Connecticut area, I mean, this is a course she frequents more often than you'd expect. I mean, she competes at the MVP Open every single year. She's very familiar with this layout, very familiar with the blind shots that you need to be aware of, and shows.
Just getting up and down for 3. You could hear it in Juge's self-commentary. Missed her line maybe a little bit on that flick-up shot, but hopefully she'll have an open look to head up and down to the basket. Colleen with an easy up and down from where her drive landed. I think that was honestly the first missed putt from Cass that we've seen.
I think it may have been. Her putter has been on fire this entire round.
Great bid from Juge.
I think the only thing Juge could have done there is just ask the basket a little more nicely to catch. That was a perfect putt.
I cannot believe we are coming into the final 3 holes. Final 2 holes.
I catch myself doing that.
We're wrapping up this round. It's going quick. Scores are tight. It's just so exciting to see. Okay, yes.
I catch myself doing that all too often at Maple Hill. Like I'll finish hole 16 and I'll walk out to 17 and I'll go, oh, I've only got 2 holes left. I don't want to leave. This is like Disneyland.
Right. It is.
I don't feel bad not playing this hole though. Like if I walk up to this hole and I'm not feeling it, I'm like, yeah, I'm just not gonna play it. I'll just go to the red tee pad and I'll just throw from there.
Yeah. I'll throw from rights. We're good. Hole 17. You can see you've got 2 pine trees to split the gap. It's narrow. It's uphill.
If we go back to the catch cam angle, and you look at how it's lined up with the 2 trees that are perfectly framing the tee pad, think about standing on a tee pad, folks. That's how wide that gap is. Like, look at that. That's how wide that gap is. And Cass, what she just showed is she just threw from she's just throwing it in an open field. She doesn't see the trees.
Right.
Such an impressive shot with this basket finishing off to the right side. You see there, she'll have a great angle of attack.
I was just gonna say, you might think that you want to finish more right, but that placement of finishing straight to almost a little left gives you so much of a better approach to get up and around the corner and down to the basket there.
Yeah, because you see that there are 2 basket locations on this hole. They are not throwing to the one on the left with the red, white, and blue flags on it. They're finishing off to the right, past the trees. If you drew a line from where Juge is throwing right now to where the sunlight is kind of peeking in, that's the line you want. There's no line through the trees that she just showed us. That doesn't exist. Don't do that. But that's where the basket is.
Also, shout out to nature appreciation with the sun coming through, the golden glow of it all. It's just maple in the fall. There's nothing better.
No, this was probably one of the most perfect late fall days you could experience at Maple Hill, especially before daylight savings, able to appreciate those couple extra hours of sunlight. It was just picturesque.
Colleen with that jump putt up and down.
Couldn't see it from our angle, but she knew that putt sat nicely. The fist pump showed it. And I wouldn't want to putt from elevation anymore either, Colleen, so I don't blame you.
Ooh, Juge getting a good stop on those rocks. Her putt. Just making this shot look easy for up and down. Nestled right under the basket there.
Such an important putt here. I mean, look at the scores. Tied up into this hole. And Cass, easy birdie.
So we've got Cass up 1 on Colleen going into the last hole. One thing I don't think we've mentioned is that Colleen is the reigning Sunstein Grand Prix champ for FPO. She won this event last year, and so she's looking to two-peat. She's got 1 more hole to do it.
Well, Colleen Hutchinson has not won this event yet. Colleen Thompson has won this event before, so we'll see if she can put a trophy on both names. I mean, recently married, like we mentioned earlier on the broadcast, so congratulations, but we'll see if the name change makes any difference. I'm just rambling at this point. I'm so excited.
Again, FPO, female camaraderie, long day, competitive day, still showing the love for one another. And I love seeing the love that these ladies have for each other. Ooh.
Hugs and high fives for all, not hugs and high fives for that tee shot. Now, something to note on this hole, during the MVP Open, this hole, that tree there in front of the tee pad does play as a mandatory. I'm going to be honest with you, I do not know what the ruling was on this hole because there's no sign that delineates Mando. So that's something that was either discussed to the players before this tournament was played or if it's just neglected. Having said that, there's really only one play on this hole now, especially where the basket is currently located, is that hyzer play that you're seeing all four of these ladies take up the middle.
And Colleen and Jess and Juge showing us how it's done over there. And looks like Cass is able to play from that spot, so I don't think the Mando was in play. Let's see what kind of Annie shot she can get up and around this tree cluster.
Yeah, so this is something that must have been discussed with the group, because if you ask anybody that was in that card, on that card, they're familiar with the normal mandatory rule on that hole, but it takes so much power to take that route that it's really just a hyzer play. And what an upshot by Juge here closing out her round.
I was going to say, you're going to notice we're not playing to the iconic hole 18 Island Green. That is because Maple Hill is going under some renovations, and so that area of the course was closed and shut off. So they moved the basket temporarily to this upper left-hand corner of the fairway.
Yeah, so it takes away a bit of the magic from the finale at Maple, but nonetheless, still hole 18, still Maple Hill, still high drama now building as we see Colleen with her upshot. So she just threw her second. Remember, she's down one going into this hole. She just threw her second. She knows she has a tough comeback putt coming. Cass now throwing her fourth, I believe.
Yep, I also counted 4.
So she'll have that for her bogey 5. This hole still playing as a par 4. Just leaving it short. So I'll have that for her 4. So we got Juge just inside the circle, it looks like.
Great putt to finish her round. It's more uphill than it looks. I know her putter has been kind of hot and cold all day, but finishing with a 3 on this hole always feels good. Jess following suit, copying Juge's line. Some good putts to finish their rounds here today.
All right, so it appears Cass, this is for her 5, I believe.
Okay.
Okay, no, this was for her 6. So we made that putt. So Colleen has this for the win.
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
Oh, wow.
So much just happened. And you wouldn't even know it from Cat. Like I love. So this is what I love about disc golf is I don't care what happens on the score. They can appreciate the round. They can be happy for their card mates. This is awesome.
I was gonna say these ladies have been playing together, competing with each other against each other for so many years, and certainly some deep friendships have formed as a result of all of that. And that camaraderie is just so lovely to see. It warms my heart.
So again, hugs and high fives for all. We'll check the scores, and huge shout out to Steve Abreu, everything he does with Sunstein, everything he's been doing for the growth of New England disc golf. And again, we want to thank you for watching. I want to thank Kim. Thank you for being here.
Of course.
And again, we'll throw it to Steve Abreu, and thank everybody for watching.
In second place, Cassandra Lioi. And the winner of $2,000 And for the second year in a row, the champion of Massachusetts, Hutchinson.
Thank you so much. All right, I'm going to pass this to the champagne. This way. All right, I'll pull it first. Smile first. Oh my God. Yeah! Jog it! I don't really know what to start. This is unbelievable, really. Obviously, a huge thanks to Steve, Sunstein, Bravus, everybody that helped put this together. As the second year was a battle, to say the least. Competing against all these amazing women, it's incredible. So I just want to say thank you to all my card mates today. Had a really great time. We played incredible golf. Those were a lot of fun to watch. You know, obviously, Disc Golf 978, thank you guys for your support this year. Means a ton. Last but not least, my wonderful husband, always supporting me and being on my way. Thank you for everything. I love you. I just want to pass out the cash for them.
No. I didn't win. No speech for me today.
All right, I need to thank Ryan Smart and Mr. Manager. Now for 2 years, all the Sunstein events, my friend. Thank you so much, Ryan, for all your hard work, everything you do.
Oh, the mole chick? I got that on film. Hey, when you come in third place, you got to celebrate somehow.
Absolutely. So I almost laughed at fourth the champagne.
Now, can you, let me touch. So I got this. What? You can put some jungle juice in that. Dude, I got champagne. Drinking.
We put a plant in it last year.
Yeah, we did.
Here we are again at Maple Hill with the champion of the women's division.
I can't believe it.
2 years in a row. This is the exact same expression you had last year.
Probably.
And yet you've done it again. But what a grind. I mean, I just feel like this season was like such a grind for you.
Yes.
And this tournament was such a grind, and yet you came out on top again. How are you doing this?
Honestly, willpower, like I said, a lot of good talk from my husband, to say the least. I really can't even believe it. I mean, this year's been really hard for me a lot mentally. So coming into this tournament, I took, a month or so off, and it really, really helped my mentality. So going into the first round, I felt great. So realizing, in those last few holes, I finally asked him on 17 where we were at, and he was like, "You're tied," and she's about to put in a birdie to, be in the lead. So I was like, it is what it is at this point. I want to end consistently, and, Cass unfortunately had a bad break on the last hole, and just kept my mind in it and just put the last putt in to win. I still can't freaking believe it. So willpower and a lot of good talk from the husband.
And it's not too dissimilar to last year, where there was also a battle coming down the stretch. This year you had the lead going into the second round, and you played an amazing first round, and you put some distance between you, and then the front nine was a bit of an adventure.
Brutal. I think I took one par.
But to battle back from that, to take it down, I mean, that doesn't happen all the time. That takes some real, mental fortitude, to get that done.
Right.
So congratulations to you.
Thank you so much, Steve.
So last year you're putting. You said, I asked you, what was the difference? And you said you're putting.
Right.
Would you feel the same way this year?
So, but in the opposite way. I think I 3 or 4 putted a couple of holes out there today, and it was definitely my mental break. But at the same time, I've really been trying to practice just doing my normal putt. I've been trying to do some weird flip putts and stuff between 5 feet. So I told myself today, just go out there, and if it sucks, just power through it. Just make sure that you can keep your putt consistent and build some confidence off of that. So I'm proud of myself for going out there and doing that today, regardless of it being shaky.
Yeah.
So
do you think the big money plays into it? The nerves play into it? Yeah,
100%. Yeah, absolutely. And clearly seeing it in Cass on the last hole, she knew what was on the line, and we could all use extra $2,000. I can't say that not. So yeah, absolutely. I think that adds all the nerves to this tournament, to say the least. But to have an equal payout in FPO and MPO it's incredible. I think it's one of the coolest things. So thank you guys for doing this for us, really.
Well, it's hard to get here. You have to qualify. Right. There are only 8 spots, and you've done that, and there's only ever been you as the winner. Let's keep it going.
Let's do it.
All right, we'll be back here next year, and God willing, we'll have another interview. You'll be the 3-time champ. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
All right,
I really appreciate
Colleen.
Hey, guys. Thanks.
Thank you. All right.
This was freaking unbelievable. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Thanks for being there all day.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was a great time.